All right, this is for Communications 201. My task was to give a speech and I had to relate my life to an object. So the object I chose to relate my life to, of course, is a toolbox. You're probably thinking, why would you relate your life to a toolbox? I wouldn't be where I am today without basically the vision of my toolbox and the importance of it. In my toolbox, my toolbox keeps me focused. Inside my toolbox is my family, my work, and my education. When you're dealing with the toolbox, I have to plan out my toolbox. I have to have the right size tools. I have to have short-term goals, and I have to have long-term goals. And then once I have everything inside, I can kind of begin my construction. I began my construction at an early age. As a child, I had a dream, and that dream was to become a police officer. So that was kind of my focus when I was young, is I always knew I wanted to be a cop. So as a teenager, I started collecting a few of my tools from my toolbox. And then as a young adult, I started shopping for my tools. So some of those things were volunteering. I volunteered a lot. I did a lot of ride-alongs with the local police department. I became a volunteer fireman. That way I would have a general knowledge of what exactly it was like to work in the public service field. And then after that was my education. Of course, education was all along. I had to graduate high school. I knew that was a requirement. And I knew I had to attend some type of general college. And I had to go to the police academy. Once I graduated from the police academy, I had to go to advanced law enforcement training. And then I began working on my associate's degree. And then after I completed my associate's degree, I was like, I think I need a little bit more. So I started working on my bachelor's degree. And those were the tools for my toolbox. And then there was my work tools. My work tools was, I knew that I didn't want to be a police officer at the lower end forever. So I graduated from a police officer 1 status all the way to a police officer 3 status. And then after that, I went into special law enforcement, which was, I was a member of a SWAT team, and I handled police canines for a long time. And then I totally changed the tools in my box, and then I become an ABC officer. I changed my title. And so not only being an ABC officer, I have a lot more tools that I have to keep in this box. I'm a coach baseball, and I'm also a mission leader for my church. So I also lead mission teams. And I knew I was going to need some type of leadership skills. So that's why I coach and do things like that. Every now and then I have to go back and I have to re-examine the toolbox. Sometimes I have to make adjustments, I have to make change. One of those changes was I had to apply for a new job. When I left regular law enforcement going to the ABC world, I applied for a different job. I have to be willing to update my tools. I have to be willing to face change. Change is going to happen regardless. And then once I have the tools in the box, I have to use them to my benefit. I have to know the tools that I have in there. I have to keep those tools sharp, and I have to retire tools as needed. There are some things that I may not need anymore, so I have to kind of take them out and put them to the side. So I guess a vision as a toolbox is, my big thing is, if you don't have tools, you don't have a plan, and then you're not going to have any progress. So the bottom line is, whatever toolbox and tools, without a toolbox and tools, you're empty. You don't really have anything. So you have to plan to keep things into your toolbox so you can use them. This is basically, so think of yourself, in summary, think of yourself as a toolbox. You're always trying to fill it so you can use those items later on. Got it?